Welcome to Effort to Ease Empowered Mindset series. So one of the greatest things that we can do to empower our minds is to move our bodies. So throughout this series, we will be moving before we get into our self-inquiry and discussion around empowered mindset and what that is. Why do we move? Why is exercise also good, not only for our bodies, but for our brains? And when I talk about body and brain as separate, they're really not separate. They are very much connected. I really like to think about it as our whole body experience. So, why is it important to move our bodies, and why is that important for our brains? Moving our body moves the spinal cord. We rotate, we flex, we extend, we laterally flex the spinal column when we move our bodies. The spine, of course, protects the spinal cord, that connection of our nervous system to our brain, or rather that whole network of messages that run through the body, letting us know if something doesn't feel right, if something feels really good, alerting us to hot, cold, all of those things. Moving the body helps move and protect the spine, keep the spine running smoothly, helps protect the spinal cord, and of course, the spinal cord being our connection between brain and body, helping to improve brain function. So with that little mini course into why it's important to move our bodies for our brains, let's get moving. So here we're going to actually start with some shoulder rolls. So we'll soften through the shoulders, find one point of focus out in front of you, a little strong through the belly. Here I am seated at the edge of a block just to keep the spine long, keep the pelvis just gently tilted forward so we're not leaning back and exerting or bringing too much extension to the low back. So we're going to keep the spine nice and supported. So do feel free, bring a block or blanket underneath your seat for that support. And we'll start with shoulder rolls here. So on your inhale, lifting the shoulders up, inhale, roll the shoulders back and down, exhale. Shoulders up, breath in, back and down, breath out. And once more, moving with your breath on your own. And then getting into a twist. So here, we'll take that deep breath in, feel nice and long through the spine, feel that groundedness through the seat, lift through the crown of the head, breath in. And on your exhale, twist to the left, rotating through belly and chest. Drop the left hand to the ground behind you and right hand over the left thigh. Now, my voice is a little off, my nose is a little off, I am getting over a little bit of a cold. So pardon that. Breathe into that twist. And then on your inhale, unwinding from that twist, we're going to rotate belly and chest to the right, dropping the right hand to the ground behind you and left over the right thigh. So here, along with that rotational movement, both through the spine and the ribs, we're also engaging the right obliques, stretching out through the left obliques that we just engaged on the other side. On your inhale, unwind. Here, we'll open the arms out and up, reach up high. Lateral flexion of the spine. Drop the left arm down, reach the right arm up and over to the left. Reaching both hands high, breath in. Drop the right arm down, left reaches up and over to the right. And of course, if you can't get into a cross-legged seat, any seated position works. Whatever works best for your body. Reaching both hands high, breath in. Relax the arms out and down. And then here, if you are in a cross-legged seat, switch legs. So whatever's in front to back or top to bottom. And we'll get into our seated cat-cow for flexion and extension through the spine. Reaching the arms out to a T, breath in. Reach forward, draw the belly in, drop the chin to the chest. Exhale. Open, inhale, looking forward and up or up. Close and reach, exhale. Open, inhale. Close, exhale. And once more, open. This time I'll reach the hands up. Bring the hands to prayer. Let the thumbs rest to the center of the chest. Relax the shoulders. So now that we've moved our bodies a little bit, let's get into the self-inquiry portion of our empowered mindset practice. And the question that I have for you today to ask yourself is, am I resting well? So what does that mean? To rest well is to look at those activities, those intentional, restful activities, and ask ourselves, after we engage in that active rest, do we feel rested? So maybe that's walking, maybe that's meditation, maybe that's reading, maybe that's watching TV. Looking at that activity, engaging in our active rest, whatever that activity is, and then asking yourself after participating in that activity, do I feel rested? So really tuning into the body. Is there still tension in the body? Is there a little bit more relaxation? And looking at the mind. Do I feel tired in the mind, not able to take in any more information, or am I ready to re-engage in that prefrontal cortex activities like decision making and problem solving? So asking yourself, am I resting well? And then looking at those activities that you consider to be restful, actively engaging in those activities, and then asking yourself, do I now feel rested after having engaged in this? And if the answer is yes, then you can probably be sure that that is an activity that you want to continue when you are wanting to rest. And if the answer is no, getting real honest with yourself about this, if the answer is no, then maybe looking at why that might be. What is it about that activity that did not make you feel rested in that moment? If it's an activity that maybe you usually do feel rested after, so you can log this after a few days or a few weeks. If this is an activity that usually does make you feel rested, what was it maybe about this particular time that that led it to not feel restful? And then looking at, do I need to change the activity, or do I need to change my mindset around the activity, or do I need to change something about the environment in which I engage in that activity? So again, just a few questions to really look at active rest, to make sure that that rest is actually restful, and then to make a decision about how to move forward into different or continuing the routine of whatever that restful activity is. So one activity that you might engage in to find rest, if you are looking for something to add into your rest toolbox, is the practice of Yoga Nidra. The practice of Yoga Nidra is a mindfulness style practice that places the brain into a sleep-like state. This sleep-like state actually helps to enhance our ability for our brains to change and to learn and to grow. When we sleep, when we get proper sleep, good sleep, perhaps the day before we have learned something, educated ourselves in some area, we get a proper amount of sleep, and the next day we're able to retain that knowledge and continue to learn and grow in whatever that specific area is, or maybe even in a new area. This is neuroplasticity, the ability of our brains to change, the ability really of our mindsets to change, the ability of us to be able to learn and retain knowledge. rest helps this. Rest helps to increase our ability to learn and retain knowledge. So when I look at rest, I actually look at it as a way of building resilience. Oftentimes we think that building resilience comes from something that's difficult, something that's challenging. We don't think that rest is a way for us to build resilience, when in fact, our ability to learn and to grow helps to build our resilience. The more we know, the more knowledgeable we are about ourselves and about the world around us, can help us stay alert and aware of areas that feel right for us, of areas of growth, of areas where maybe we need, or communities need, whatever we're learning about needs improvement. We begin to build resilience through rest because it actually helps enhance those areas of our brain that allow us to make better decisions, to retain knowledge, enhances our memory, and to problem solve. And resilience, of course, is our ability to adapt and grow through change, to see when something has changed and to learn how to navigate that change with more ease. And the more well-rested we are, the more easily we are to make those decisions that allow us to navigate change well. So again, am I resting well? With that, I did pop a link to a Yoga Nidra practice on Insight Timer that I have on Insight Timer in the description below. So do feel free to take some time to rest and engage in that Yoga Nidra practice, or share what kind of practices, what kind of active restful practices are you engaging in that help you to maintain energy for whatever work you do, and just for being who you are. Thank you, as always, for listening. Thank you for watching. Peace.